bet some of you have been wondering where I've been hiding. Well, I had a little incident here. We'll get to that in a little bit. But prior to me obtaining my new wheels here, I was doing a lot of work on the three-wheelers, amongst other things. Killing a lot of bugs, making them so they're very dependable for when we take them up north to go riding. So, I'll tell you what, I'll give you a little tour of what I was doing on them. So, let me grab the camera, we'll get started. Well, let's start with the 200s over here. These are all 86 machines, 1986. Everything's been gone through on all of them as far as tuning, new chains, sprockets, brakes, calipers. Everything's been gone through, cables, fork seals, kind of name it. It's stuff that normally wears out. We've been going through on all the machines, so they're nice and dependable for when we go out riding. You don't want to have anything break down. This one here, the girlfriend's been helping on sandblasting everything, which is really nice. And she does a lot of the painting of the parts too, which really helps to get them done a little sooner. And this is the one she always drives here. She never drove one prior to meeting her on any of these three-wheelers ever, and she just loves this thing. So this is the one she always drives, and then I'll usually take the other 200 or that 350. Now then we're doing all new fuel valves too on these machines, so that when they're shut off, they are. Carbs are rebuilt on every one. Chain, sprockets, yada yada, chain guide down there. Fork seals again, every machine. All the cables once again. So yeah, getting them all set up pretty darn good. I'll give you a little closer look at the 350. We did pretty much so a total restoration on this machine here. And things that might be of interest for some of you, that back axle, girlfriend sandblasted all that stuff, and then we just clear coated with a nice enamel clear coat. Rear swing arm, that's been all detailed, bearings, seals, whatever needed to be done. The rear caliper, you can buy these on Amazon or eBay, usually around 25 bucks. It's like, you don't even pay the monkey with the old one for that. Exhaust, we painted that off with some real quality paint. For his brake reservoir hose, we detailed the top of the cap there and everything. Rear master cylinder for the rear brake, that's been rebuilt. And what I did on this machine, I like it when the brakes, you don't have to stand on the pedal to wall it down. So I re-drilled a pivot. There we go, better shot. I re-drill a pivot, so then actually you do get a little more leverage, which you do get a little more braking with a little less effort. And also, on the front brake, what I did here was I ordered a master cylinder with the smallest bore piston I could find, which in turn will give you more pressure, once again, on the caliper pistons. And to top it all off, then that pin in there, I'm trying to get the shot here, we got the pin, and I reground the handle a little bit, so actually I can get a little more leverage even out of that. So when you want to whoa this thing down now on the brakes, it works pretty darn good. The engine, I had the engine apart. It smoked pretty good when you started it. The valve guide seals are bad then. So what I did, I made a tool up to compress the valve guide springs while they were right on the machine, and along with a thing to put in a spark plug hole to keep air pressure on the piston so the valve don't fall in the cylinder while you're changing out the seals. The compression release here, this was leaking oil real bad, and the guy told me all that when I bought the machine. Somebody had it apart, and they forgot to put, there's a dowel that holds this shaft in, and that would come out and would not work. What this is a compression release. It works off the kicker, and down here, let me get a better shot of what's going on here. The kicker, when you push on the kicker, this arm here pulls on that piece up here, and then it holds the exhaust valves open a little bit, so it kicks over much easier. A nice feature to have there. And then the exhaust, did all new exhaust gaskets and clamps, stuff like that. And girlfriend detailed up all the bolts for me real nice. Sweet! You know, stuff like that. Hammered the skid plates down to normal condition again. The rear one was missing. So actually, we bought an aftermarket one, aluminum. Really nice for the price. Come around to the front here. And once again, I got new cables, or clutch, and a few other things. So whatever I could locate. Some things you can buy up for these, some you can't. And the caliper, front caliper. I redid the pistons on there. I got new ones in, and seals and everything. And then when you get all your fresh fluid and everything, you should never have to monkey with it again. Maybe do a fluid flush once in a while is a good thing. So then we got these new fuel valves. So much of that stuff you can find actually is still available aftermarket, which is just such a blessing to be able to keep these machines on the road. And of course, all the details on the foot pegs, the new chain and sprocket. And I went with a little smaller sprocket on the front. We don't need to go hurricane speed, a little more lugging around in the rough terrain. Am I going to get it full of mud? You bet. But it's just, I just like the first initial time to totally go through a machine, so it's real dependable. That's kind of a nice thing. Well, as some of you probably already suspected, I had a little incident on a three-wheeler. The 350 there to be exact. So let's go look at the area where that happened. Now, I've never been hurt before ever in my life out of all my driving and stuff. And well, sooner or later your time comes, I guess. So hopefully you don't have too much wind noise here. But I was out having some fun in the parking lot here. And actually, a few months before that even happened, I took a hit on a fall in a house and wrecked my ribs. So it's not been a real good summer for me, but we'll come over here and I'll show you what happened. I gotta find the marks again. And you can see these two divots right here. Well, what I was doing, if you follow the marks there that lead up to that, you can see right here where it crossed over. Well, what happened is, I'll simulate it with this machine. I was out here doing donuts and figure eights, and I'm sliding backwards, and I believe I was in fourth gear wide open. And with the surface being all the same, the machine ain't gonna hook up, you know, where you know you're gonna be safe and good to go, until you're sliding backwards and you get onto the dirt right here. And when I hit that right there, the machine hooked up and flipped right straight over backwards. I landed on my back with the machine on me. And the worst part was, to give you an idea how fast the tires were spinning, there was chunks of dirt out there by the dirt pile even. So, yeah, everybody learns a lesson sooner or later on things you shouldn't do. And this is definitely a different kind of experience for me, where, like I said, I've never really been injured bad before. So quite the journey. I'm not supposed to be on my leg for 12 weeks. And yeah, the house is getting smaller every day, it seems. But it's nice to finally be able to be back out here, and better yet, to even make a video again and start making them for you guys. So we'll get back inside here. Well, now you folks know the rest of the story, something I'm not overly proud of, but I thought I'd present that to you. Oh, and what happened is, I believe the handlebars caught my leg when it flipped over on me, and my right femur bone broke right here, and it's not a straight break either, it's a diagonal type break, so they had to put a plate in me right here. You can probably see that anyway, where they cut and put in about yay long or something, I guess. So yeah, not a good thing to have happen, I guess, along when I took a hit on the ribs again too. But in the future, I know a lot of you are not real big on the three-wheeler videos, so in the future I'll get you some more stuff together that's homemade things and stuff that's really different, fixing. I'll get back to that stuff there. And, geez, I'd like to thank all you folks for all kind comments you pass along my way and everything. And, oh, and one other thing I got up my sleeve. Somewhere in the future, I want to get set up for a live presentation. I think that would be awesome, where we'd be able to talk back and forth with all you viewers live. That would just make my day to be able to help some of you out if I can on something you got going on. It'd be great, or ask me questions, whatever. It'd be awesome. So, I hope to get you all back here again. I'll be getting on some good videos again here in the future, so stick around, and thank you all so much for watching. Bye-bye. Now, here's a neat little feature that I included on the three-wheelers. If your leg is broke and you can't kickstart them, actually the day before I broke my leg, I made one of these bars for each machine. So if we ever want to tow start them and pop the clutch, we can. That makes that possible. So let's see how that works.
Your big booby woman.
Ready.
All right, so ready?
Yep.
Perfect.
No more burnouts. The chase vehicle in hot pursuit. That's your bonus footage for today, folks. So, anyway, throw a little extra. There we go. Hope you enjoyed.